Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the other videos? Another paid request, this time from Fadi. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it. Either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And you wanted me to talk about the 1989 film K-9. Now, a lot of times throughout the years, and you still see this, there'll be a lot of films that come out that are competing with each other or seem very similar to one another. You have Dante's Peak and Volcano. You got A Bug's Life and Ants. You got Deep Impact and Armageddon. You had Vice Versa and Like Father, Like Son. And the list goes on. In this case, Iron Eagle and Top Gun. And kind of like that, this one came out pretty early on. I don't know if it was between January to like March of '89, and then you had Turner and Hooch much later. Now Turner and Hooch, you could say a bit more of the star power because Tom Hanks was a pretty up and coming star with films like Big and other films. And of course, Tom Hanks would get a lot bigger after that. Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, and the like. While this stars James Belushi. Now, I like James Belushi. You know, I liked him in a lot of roles, whether it be Red Heat with Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Principal, which he did a few years before this. Later on, he'd do TV shows like According to the Gym, among other stuff. But I do like him. I liked his personality. I liked his comedy traits. And this did come out before Turner Hooch, and I know a lot of people like Turner Hooch over this. And Turner and Hooch is fun. I do prefer this, though. I do have a lot more fun with K-9. Because while I like Tom Hanks, I felt Belushi and this police officer role just felt more comfortable. I thought he seemed more comfy, he seemed more of a fit as his cop, and I thought that the action scenes felt more adequate, they felt more competent. It did feel like a bit more of an action movie compared to Turner Hooch, to a point of like the opening. I thought it was like felt like a pretty serious opening with the titles and the music for a film called K-9. Just like this blue or whatever type of lighting, and the text is coming by, and it forms K9. I'm like, shit, that's pretty serious. And then the opening is Belushi waiting in a car, and he can't get any on his phone, so he go to another couple's car to get their car phoned. But then his car gets shot to shit by a chopper and blown up. So right here, already we got explosive opening. Now it's directed by Rod Daniel, who did the first Teen Wolf movie with Michael J. Fox. He also did The Super with Joe Pesci, a film I do like. Sadly, Rod Daniel has passed away. He passed away a few years ago, which is too bad. And like I said, I like James, and Neighbors Roosters, they liked it too. The James Belushi, this I liked him as an actor. I thought he did a good job here as Dooley. He's fun. I thought he was funny. I thought he was personable. I thought his exchanges were entertaining. Even when he's speaking to himself, he's playing this game that he's mocking him. It's like, I could pull your barrel out and kill you. Or when he's talking to his supervisor, take your best shot, I dare you. You did it. I can't believe it. I can't believe you hit me. Now, if you don't like James Belushi, this is not going to change your mind. So I guess that also comes into the factor, if you liked him or if you don't. I liked him quite a bit, but if you don't, you don't. And that's for me. I liked his character. I guess it also depends what kind of character you prefer. Because you have Tom Hanks, who's much more of a different kind of cop, much more of a neat freak, things of that nature. More like the Felix Unger, while James Belushi is more of the Oscar. I guess I'm more of an Oscar guy than a Felix guy. And there's some fun moments. I mean, there's a bit where he's trying to get information. There's this guy he handcuffs. And it's like, okay, you know what? Let's jog. Yeah, it's time to jog. Ah, yeah, you need some exercise. I can help you. So he's driving, the guy's running around, and he's slowly driving him to the freeway to freak him out, to get him some information. Ultimately, it's a bad guy, played by, I think, Kevin Tighe, who's in the Patrick Swayze film Roadhouse, among other films. And something to do with drugs. The plot is kind of like Turner Hooch. The plot is pretty perfunctory, if that's the word I'm thinking of. The pedestrian. There's nothing that deep with the plot. It's more about the co-stars, which is the cop and the dog, and how they work together, the hijinks that ensue. Pretty much, he's trying to look for these drug deals to get this bad guy put away, because there's going to be this big drug deal coming up. Belushi needs a dog to sniff them out, so he talks to Ed O'Neill from Married with Children, Dutch, Booty Time, and Adventures of Ford Fairlane, to get a German Shepherd. And I know this sounds mean and superficial, but I like German Shepherds more than, I forget the breed of dog in Turner and Hooch. I'm not a big dog person. I'm more of a cat person. But if there's a dog, one of them I would prefer is the German Shepherd. I like the way they look. I just much prefer that. I thought they did a good job with the acting on the dog, his mannerisms, the way him and Belushi would look at each other. There's a bit Belushi would say, and the dog would perk up. Or how they make him put his paws up and lower his head down like in disappointment. I thought they did a really nice job utilizing the dog. Jerry Lee made him a likable pair. I thought Belushi handled the dog fairly well in certain scenes. And there's a lot of scenes. I thought it was a fun movie. I thought it was a very fun film. Like, for example, he needs to get this dog, and Ed O'Neill's like, well, I got this problem to begin with. Like, I'll get to you later. Wait, you got some bad guys in there? Okay, just wait. So he goes to a car dealership, he rents a car, goes all this stuff, took the bad guy's gold card, one of the bad guys' gold card, used that, gets a car, and does a Clint Eastwood, what was it, one of the Clint Eastwood films that began with that, takes a car, just drives right through the fucking building. Here's your bad guys. Which, yes, of course, I know in real life that would never happen. There'd be a lot of shit to deal with, but it's the movies. It's entertaining. It's escapism. I could deal with it. There's another fun bit in a bar where he's trying to get some info and they're beating him up and they're pressing Belushi down. He's like, no, don't deal with that dog. Don't mess with him. They throw a cue ball. The dog catches it and breaks it in half and chews it up. And you really get the viciousness of this dog to the point that then it grabs a guy's nuts. I love Belushi's reaction, like, there's a lot of moments that made me sincerely laugh. And call your dog off. Huh? What was that? What was that? I couldn't hear you. Well, I don't know. I can't do that, man. He's got it. Not much I can do. You better give me some info. And again, there's some fun, silly, goofy, but fun interactions. Belushi gets the dog a bath by putting it in a car wash. Then the dog gets pissed and rips out his radio. Belushi takes the dog home. But when Belushi tries to make it with his woman, the dog growls or gets in between the covers and even plays some Jaws music and gets in between them. And like I said, Belushi and the dog worked well together. Like, he's just trying to have a cupcake. Let me in peace, okay? Let me know. Fine, eat the goddamn thing. Another funny bit is like he's looking at a bad guy and a waiter, which is actually Dan Castellaneta, who would become the voice of Homer Simpson. It's like, you can't have a dog here. Well, she has a dog. No, that's the owner's daughter, so it doesn't matter. And this is my seeing eye dog. You're blind, sir? He puts on his sunglasses. Yes. And were you blind when you entered here? Yes. Sorry about that, sir. And there's a scene before where he was talking to a lady who trained her dog well. And he's like, how do you do that? And she's like, well, you do this, and you look and you stare them down, and then you mount them. Now, she means a different thing, but he's thinking, of course, the other thing. So he doesn't quite get it. It's like, lucky dog. And this, I think Belushi does a really good job. He's like, mount them. And then later on, when they get the Jerry Lee trained to drink up the bit, he's like trying to talk him down, and then he goes, don't let me have to mount you, and he immediately leaves. I thought so. And I do think that the action scenes just felt a little bit more elaborate compared to Turner and Hooch. Whether it be the car chases or a foot chase that then leads to the top, where the dog makes the leap, but Belushi quite can't and just barely makes it. The ending, I felt like there's a bit more going on. It takes place outside. This exchange between they got his girlfriend, his lover of his life, and got to do this exchange. Just felt like there's a bit more going on in the finale. There's a bit of exchange, a bit of a shootout. And also, spoiler alert, I do think this has the better ending. I get why they ended Turner and Hooch that way, but it's funny, this came out many, many, many months before Turner and Hooch, but they have almost the same ending, which is the dog protects the owner, the dog gets shot, the owner gets the dog into medical care, only in this one, the dog lives. In Turner and Hooch, the dog dies. I think there was one interview where Tom Hanks said that if the dog lived, I think it would have done better at the box office. He's probably got a point, because for such a silly, fun, goofy premise, I don't know if people really wanted that dour of an experience at the end. And that's why K-9 I thought worked a bit better in terms of its tone and consistency. And in fact, it even has a funny bit on it where Belushi's pouring his heart out, and the dog keeps opening his eyes and then closing them, and keeps opening his eyes and closing them. It just felt like a much more satisfying, sweeter ending. And there were 2 sequels. There was K-911, K-9-2, and K-9 PI. Now, they're serviceable, direct-to-video films. I like them for what they are, just because I like Belushi. I like that breed of dog. They don't have the budget or it's weird saying slickness of it, but when you watch a film that has a bigger budget, you just tell just by the look of the film. I don't know how else to describe it. You just tell when a film just seemingly has a bit of a bigger budget. And this film made some money. It was a decent success. I think Turner Hooch made more money because it came out in the summer. And again, Tom Hanks was a bit more of a rising star. But this did fairly well too. But then Belushi, the thing with James Belushi is that because of films like Red Heat and this film, he was kind of looked at as maybe a new leading man, but then he did these films which aren't awful, but they didn't do anything. He did Taking Care of Business. He did Mr. Destiny. Like, he starred in these films that really did little to no business. So then, after just a short bit, he's doing bit roles in films like Abraxas, which that's a real true piece of. I think Belushi's wife worked on that film, so that something about Belushi's wife or someone Belushi knew worked on that film, so that's how he got involved with that. So that's probably more of the reason why he got in it. And like just doing direct-to-video stuff. He did, what was it, Retroactive, I think is one called, and other bits roles. Gang Related he was in with Tupac. Just was never as big of a star on movies compared seemed like getting to in the late 80s. So then he worked and went into TV, where she found a bit of success in. And I think according to Jim was on for, was it 6 years, 7 years? Quite a bit. But anyway, K-9, like I said, I think it's a very fun, entertaining movie. As I've repeated. Like I said, I like the dog. I like Belushi. The action scenes, I felt a bit more grander. Not grander, but a bit more. This felt like more of an action comedy, while Turner Hooch just felt like a comedy with like a little bit of action. And I'm a sucker for action. Like I said, I think Belushi is just more comfortable in the role of a police officer. And I liked the ending more, liked the breed of dog more, as superficial as that is. And it was fun. It's a film I remember when I was a kid. I still enjoy to this day. Listen, I don't remember minding. I remember not minding the two sequels, but again, they are direct-to-video, so they're a lesser degree compared with the first, but I still remember enjoying them for what they were. Yeah, K-9's a fun one. It doesn't come off as a kid's film. It comes off as, no, this is a film for adults where it happens to be a guy and his dog. I don't know. That's how I feel with Turner and Hooch. I don't know if this is fair to say, but Turner sometimes felt like they'd want to be a family film or an action film for adults. But K-9 felt a bit more for adults, and I just felt more consistent to me. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that way. But anyway, K-9, just a thumbs up for me. I still enjoy the film. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.